This is the video lesson for warm-up number 10-3. We're going to begin by plotting the data on the dot plot. So we first of all need to label our x-axis here. If you'll notice here on the left-hand column, this is our input, our x value, and this is going to be our output. So down here we're going to go ahead and put how many children there are. So we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we're going to go ahead and label that number of children per family. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and put X's for how many times this occurred. So 2 families had 0 children. Here we have 4 families that had 1 child. We have 6 families that had 2 children. There are 8 families that had 3 children. And there are 7 families that had 4 children. There are 5 families that had 5 children. And there are 2 families that had 6 children. Now we want to list this data. So what we're going to do is we're going to list how many families had 0 children. So there's 2 of them, so we're going to put 2 zeros down. Then there were 4 families that had 1 child each. There are 6 that had 2. Seven that had 4. Oops, I put an 8 instead of a 3 there for the last one. Okay, so how many families were surveyed? We're going to count this up. So we've got 2 plus 4 is 6, plus another 6 is 12, 20, 27, 32, 34. So 34 families were surveyed. Okay, so now we're going to find the mean, median, and the mode, and we're going to round to the nearest tenth if necessary. So to find the mean, we're going to add up all of these numbers together and then divide by how many we have, which is 34. So when I add all those numbers up, if you haven't done this yet and you want to pause the video, you're welcome to, but I've already done it. So I'm going to add up all those numbers, and I'm going to get the number 105. And I'm going to divide that by the 34 numbers that I have, and that's going to give me 3.1 for my mean. The median is the middle number. So it's 34 numbers. So I'm going to count to 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So it's right there in the middle between those 2 3s. So my median is a 3. The mode is the number that occurs the most, which is also 3. That has the most. That has 8 of them. The range is the largest number minus the smallest number. So our largest number is 6 minus the smallest number, which is 0, which gives us 6 for the range. In this situation, what does the mode represent? Well, this tells us that out of the people that were surveyed, families with 3 children occurred, I think there's an extra R in there, I'm not sure, occurred the most. Okay, now we're going to make a bar chart out of this, or actually we're going to be making a histogram. But we want to answer these questions first. Let's go to number 9. Write each answer as a fraction, then as a percent, round to the nearest tenth of a percent if necessary. What percent of the families surveyed? So we had 34 families that were surveyed, had 5 or more children. So if we go up here, how many had 5 or more children? So that's 5 plus 2, which is 7. So 7 had 5 or more. So my fraction is going to be 7 over 34. Then I'm going to put that in my calculator, 7 divided by 34. And I get this number right here. And I want to round to the nearest tenth of a percent. So I move this over 2 places. So it's going to be 20.588. I'm rounding to that 5 right there. That's my tenths place when it's a percent. The 8 tells that 5 to bump up to a 6. So my answer is going to be 20.6%. Okay, what percent of the families surveyed had less than 4 children? Once again, I know there were 34 families that were surveyed, and they have less than 4 children. So I look up here. So less than 4 children would be 3 down to 0. So I have 2 plus 4 is 6, plus 6 is 12, plus 8 is 20. So there were 20 families that had less than 4 children. So my fraction is going to be 20 over 34. Put that in my calculator, 20 divided by 34. And to the nearest tenth of a percent, that 8 is going to stay in 8 because that 2 tells it to stay in 8, so 58.8%. Okay, now we're going to use the table to make a histogram. Don't forget to label our x and y axes. So my x-axis, again, is the number of children per family. I'm going to write that down. So the number of children per family. My y-axis is going to be the number of families. Okay, and we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then over here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so we're going to go ahead, and I had 2 families. So I'm going to put some lines right here to identify where that's at. So 2 families that had 0 children. Then we had 4 families that had 1 child. And we had 6 families that had 2 children. Line that up here. Get out my ruler so this is a little bit more accurate. Okay, we have 8 families that had 3 children. Right in there. And 4 families had 7 children. Sorry, 7 families had 4 children. Say that the right way. There were 5 families that had 5 children. And there were 2 families that had 2 children. Okay, so there's our histogram.